How's it going? I'm Matt Thorpe. I'm here hosting the Coaches Show at Southern Wesleyan University. Today we got Coach Charles Winfrey, head coach of the men's basketball team. How's it going, Coach?
It's going really good. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. We'll go ahead and jump right in. I want to ask you how things are going for this season. What are some positives you can take away?
I'll answer your first question. I think season is not going the way we anticipated it. Have a very young squad. Just have one senior that's playing a lot of minutes for me. No juniors. Just have freshmen and sophomores that are getting a lot of minutes and having to do a lot of things for us. And I understand that being young like that and playing in this conference and on this level, it's going to be pretty tough until you learn it. But I think with that being said, I think the valuable experience that they are gaining is going to benefit them in the future.
Awesome. Your team came out and fought really well. A lot of games for half or just over half the game, but it seemed like they came out and played a little slower in the second half or slower in the first half. Is that something that just a matter of experience will fix, or?
I think so. Having one experienced player that was starting, I had a conversation with, we talking about Darius Sharp, our senior that played a lot of minutes for us. I talked to him early in the season, and I told him, I said, now, you got to be very patient this year. I said, because once the ball is out of your hand, it's going to be in a freshman or a sophomore. I said, because we're going to start either 3 freshmen, a sophomore and you, or 4 freshmen and you. It was going to be young all the way around. He has all the experience, and you can tell the difference with him and his contribution that he brings every game.
Awesome. Well, while we're on that note, let's go ahead into our player spotlight, focusing on Darius Sharp, your senior, leading scorer. He's actually scored his 1,000th point the other night, so that's a big deal. What are some things about Darius? You mentioned his leadership, and he's going to have to be patient. What are some things that he brings to the team other than just his scoring ability?
I think with him, he played at Division I Georgia State in his first year, and he's been with me now for 3 years. And there was a lot that he had to learn as well when he came, but he brings so much to the table, not just from his playing, on the court, but in the locker room, his preparation, practice. Tremendous student. He just sets a good example for the young kids to follow. But I think with Darius, I think he will have a good future regardless of which way or whatever he chooses. He's in the business administration field, and I've been getting some calls about him playing overseas as well.
That's awesome. So do you know where he's leaning for after college?
No, his options will be there.
Okay.
I have kids right now that's playing overseas, but the goal is to graduate. And I talk to them all the time about what the goal really is and what they should be focusing on, and that's to graduate. So he's going to do that, and we'll see after that what his plans will be.
All right, well, let's go into our next part. We're going to focus on senior night this Friday against Limestone. You guys are playing after the women. Last game against Limestone was a 10-point loss. It was a close game. You guys actually out-rebounded Limestone. What are some adjustments we can do for this coming game to come out on top?
Limestone, first of all, I got to give them credit. They're a very, very good basketball team. Got some very, very good athletes. A couple of Division I players transferred in, and but like you said, the last ball game, we had a good game plan, and they followed the game plan. And the first media time out of the second half, I looked at the scoreboard, and we was up by 1.
Right.
And I reminded the guys of that. But I think the game plan will be similar, the same. Defensively, I don't think they're as good. I think we can run our sets. We can do a lot of things. And that helps when you're playing a team like Limestone, when you're playing young players against those guys, that they're not pressing, they're not doing a lot of things to force a lot of turnovers and that kind of stuff. So I look forward to them playing a pretty good game tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, tomorrow's the final regular season game. Where do we go from here next year? What's our recruiting looking like? You said you got a young team, but you're losing your leading scorer in Darius. So what's next year look like?
I think next year we have another kid named Justice McCullough, who's leading the league in rebound and averaging a double-double. But he's going to need some more experienced players to go around him. I think the freshmen I signed a couple of years ago are still not ready as sophomores. I think he's going to be juniors next year. They should be ready to contribute. But I feel like I have to bring in a couple of transfers, whether junior college transfers or Division I players. Those guys are always looking for somewhere to go. But on the other hand, we got to make sure we don't, they have to be a mission fit.
Right.
I think that's where the coaching comes in at, and where we see a kid that has so much talent, but then will he fit with the mission of the university? And sometimes we do well on that, sometimes we don't.
I hear you. Well, Coach, thank you. I know the audience is glad to hear from you, glad to hear your perspective. Again, hope to see you guys out there for senior night against Limestone this Friday. Thanks.
Thank you.